Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. Let's get straight into it. Continuing to help some of the hobbits here in Oatbarton. Let me actually remove this from my quest tracker. And that way I can focus mainly on these other things here. Gathering some oats. All the good stuff. Lots of harvesting to do. Now, there are some locusts here. Do a fierce resolve, because why not? Go. Looks like all the oats are here in the same field for me. That makes things easy. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll be 3 short. Nah, they're here in the back. Alright. Locust queens, and then these swarming locusts I also have to get rid of. Few more over here. Kill a couple of these. Let me do a desolation. Nice. Just running around, killing pests. That's what I do. There we go. And more locusts here. If I could find one more queen, that would be nice. And then I have to find something that is amiss within the field. I don't know, but we got Nibs Chubb here.
Oh, gracious me!
Did you get the oats? Wonderful. I will have these bales sent to Hobbiton right away. I wonder what he could be wanting with such a large amount of oats. I gather he's got enough now to supply a large party with bread for a month, though I doubt he could get the guests. But it's not my business to pry into others' affairs. And I guess I'll take that. Alright. Still looking for some junk here. Maybe this quest ring down here might give me something. Ah, mysterious relic. So this is part of that meta deed. The, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into it. In the center of the field stands an evil-looking relic, clearly not of hobbit make. You stare warily at the relic, but it divulges none of its secrets. You feel vaguely ill. An unhealthy aura seems to emanate from the relic.
It's been a foul day, it has.
Do you know what this horrible thing is? If you know anything about it, you need to tell me at once. I will not stand for this sort of thing, I tell you. We are honest, respectable folk and do not deserve that such awful things be placed in our backyards without our knowledge and consent. I mean honestly, have you ever seen such a thing?
Well, the gall of some folk.
You want to know what happened here? I'll tell you what has happened. Someone has left this dreadful thing here in the middle of my prized pipeweed crop, and it's gone and killed off all the plants. I'm ruined. My pipeweed has certain to take first place at the annual festival, and now it's all gone. Disaster.
How rude.
No, I don't, but I have my suspicions. You see Adaric Burrows over there? I think he hauled this thing into my field overnight in order to eliminate my pipeweed from the competition. He's had it in for me for a while, and he saw how well my plant was doing. Well, now they're all gone, thanks to that sneak. Couldn't have carried it, you say? Well, he probably dragged it with a team of horses. No, I don't see any ruts in the earth, but I still know he's the one that's done it. Do you think there might be more?
Oh, how rude!
More? Not in the Shire, I warrant. We'd have heard about it, but I wouldn't be upset if one of these things appeared in the middle of Aderic's pipeweed field, I'll tell you that much. Alright, so if you remember, we encountered one of these in the North Downs, and again, it's part of a larger meta deed that I'll eventually be completing and going over in a little bit more detail. So let me see if I find anything else here. Alright, there's a queen here that I can kill. Alright. That's that. And I do need to find something amiss in the field here. I would think that mysterious relic would be amiss, but I guess that's not what they're looking for. I don't know. Should be in this red circle here. I certainly don't see anything. I don't know. Ah, this thing. What is that? Dead deer and a wolf. I did find something amiss indeed. Let me go talk to him.
Dear me, what do you want?
You cleared out the locust, and that's well and good, but I'm very worried about those wolves you saw prowling my fields. Insects eating the crop are an easy enough matter, but wolves on my land is something else.
Gracious me, I need your help.
This whole affair is just like one of the old tales Hal Gamgee tells. Most of the hobbits in these parts don't heed much of what he says. I think he has spent one too many nights under the stars, and that could play queer tricks on any decent hobbit. All this talk has got me thinking though, you should see Hal about these wolves. He might know a thing or two. Not 2 weeks ago, he came to my door with a story of a giant wolf northeast of Oatbarton. Mayhaps you could speak with him. You might find him near the center of town. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this.
Is there something I can do for you?
Herds of elk have been coming down from beyond the north bounds, more and more. They have to be running from something. Many of them are spooked to the point I can't even notch my bow before they're deep into the thicket. It's the elk that are bringing the wolves across the Brandywine. I saw a big white one stalking an elk in the woods north of here, but he ran off as soon as he spotted me. I've tried hunting the wolves, but they're smarter than most game. I gather you'll have to take down that big wolf to scatter the pack. If the wolves are hunting elk, I'd reckon a flank of elk meat could lure a big one out. A herd of young greensward hind is usually grazing in the old orchard in the north of Oatbarton. You should try hunting there for the elk meat. Alright, let's hunt some elk so we can set a trap. I guess I could kill this one. I don't know if the young ones count. Ah, sure enough it does.
What do you need?
Have you found the meat yet, Kippen?
Please, stay a moment.
This meat will do fine. Now all we need is to set the trap. Like I was telling the folk in town, I saw a pack up away northeast of here. If you could head there, you should catch sight of some of the younger wolves, and the big fellow won't be far away. The big wolf most likely will be hid up in a cave or a hole near the pack. Leastways, that's always how all the good tales tell. You might try placing the meat outside of the cave in order to lure him. You should try not to use all of the meat, though. I wouldn't mind a few strips of fried elk for lunch. Alright, let's see if we can do a little bit of wolf hunting around here. So his name is Bonefang. Alright, and here comes Bonefang. Just gonna go ahead and ambush him before he can even eat the meat. And he is dead. Perfect. We'll leave that meat out there for some of the other wolves. Looks like we're all set, though. I feel like my music volume is really low. Let's see. No, I always have it at 25. Yeah, everything seems to be okay.
Hello.
What a story this will make. What with wolves crossing the Brandywine and sturdy folk driving them off, I will have to get old Ronald in Dwaling to write me a letter to my cousin Sam to tell me about it. To tell him about it. Alright, so it looks like this is Sam's cousin. Now I'll take that. Alright, sweet. So next up I can put this back on my tracker so I can tell the farmer Northcutt that I've helped everybody. And we should be ready to start the market. Actually, hold on, I see another quest ring here.
Could I take a moment of your time?
With the wolf gone, the road of Dwaling is now clear. This is good news because many from Dwaling usually come down for the market. They bring down their glassware and trade it for our produce. Alba Northcott up at the Northcott farm will want to know that we're ready down here and that the road is clear. Alright. Now I'm ready to go talk to him. Would have sucked to run all the way up to the farm and then have to come back because I missed that quest. Alright, and where am I going? It says there's like a quest here. I guess it's telling me to help Nibs. But I think I already did everything, right? Yeah, this is gonna be later. What else you got? This is in Forkill. That's in Numinous. Hold on, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. That's in Tinadir. Alright, I think we're set. Let me set this as the focus. And then we'll go that way. Yeah, I'll have to check my recordings and make sure the music is loud enough, because it's pretty soft right now on my headphones. I wouldn't want you to miss the great soundtrack of Evendom. Alright, and we're good to go.
Just a moment.
Everything's all set with Nibs, and the road to Oakbarton is safe as well, you say? You have been busy. There we go. Nice.
Hello?
I cannot believe it is all done and ready. I was sure we would have to cancel, But not only are we ready to go, you've gotten us ready early. And all the rewards this season are going to be completely useless since they're like level 30. So I'm just going to take whatever.
Could I take a moment of your time?
You have helped us greatly, and for that I am very thankful. I have one last thing to ask you. The market will be opening tomorrow. I was hoping you would head up the road to Dwaling and let the hobbits there know that thanks to some outstanding help, we are starting the market a little early this year. Just follow the road east from Oatbarton, and soon enough you will come to Dwaling. Find Hob Hillbro and let him know. Alright, so we got some deeds here, probably for doing the quests here in Evendim. And again, I do go over all the deeds for a season at the very last episode of a season. Alright, so let me get out of here. I am lost once again, it appears. I did this last time too, man. I was trying to head back down and I just ran into a dead end. Let's see. Let me maybe go through here. And then through here. Looks good enough to me. Take a little shortcut here by dropping down. And it doesn't look like there are any other quests here in Oatbarton. But as I've mentioned, I do have a completionist checklist on my website that I spent some time researching, especially with the help of the LOTRO wiki to make sure I have all the quests. And then if I missed anything along the way, before I finish the season, I do go back and make sure I hit everything, and if I didn't, I go back and do those quests. So nobody worry. If you know of a quest in Oatbarton that I missed, I'll come back to it, I promise. I will say that Evendim, in my opinion, is one of the most aesthetically pleasing maps. Very nice landscapes here, especially as you get deeper and deeper towards the lake. I think you guys will enjoy it. Got all those mountains in the background, everything looks nice. See if I can come up through here. Certainly the road curves around. Let me just jump through here. And we are in Dwaling.
How rude!
I am very happy to hear that the market is starting tomorrow, but I fear we will not be able to make it. There's too much afoot here to leave. Alright, so obviously things look a little bit beaten up around here, so let's talk to everybody, figure out what's going on.
Might I have a word with you?
Warden, I beg your pardon, but I haven't any other to turn to in these dark times. Please hear me out. Dwaling has never been a rich town, but we have always gotten by on our own. Many of the best glass blowers in the Shire were found in these holes. My dad before me was a glass blower, best in the North and East Farthings, and I learned to trade from him. Recently, things turned for the worst for our little town. What with all the wild creatures about, folk are plain afraid of the North Bounds nowadays. Most of the folk have moved away and sold off their property after business stopped. A hobbit out of the West Farthing sent letters and contracts up this way, purchasing holes and land until he bought up almost the whole town. That's when all the trouble began. I used to get my tools for glass blowing repaired by a dear old friend who lived in Dwaling, but he moved away not a week ago. Before he left, he swore he would finish fixing them up. If you would, head into Dwaling and see if he left them on his stoop. His hole was on the north side of town. The tools should be in a satchel or bag. I would be deeply in your debt.
Please stay a moment.
It must have been the beginning of the fall. I was with my son on the banks of the Brandywine enjoying the sun, a fine meal, and a full pipe, while he sat and played with his favorite toy, a piece of lead fashioned into a small dog, by the side of the river. You know, you should never let your kids play with lead toys. Lead poisoning is a real thing. Anyways, my boy was very fond of this toy, but when it came time to leave, it wasn't anywhere to be found. I tried to console him with one of my stories. I created quite a wonderful tale about the toy's whereabouts, but if you are heading that way, perhaps you could search for it. The toy has to be somewhere in Barendalf, the sand marshes north and east of Dwaling. I have heard that strange burrowing creatures have since inhabited the area. There is a good chance that one of them could have swallowed it up thinking that it was food.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Although not many know this, I heard about the business down south of here with the goblins. They are up to no good around these parts too. I swear I saw one of them kill one of the spiders and drag it back to their camp. Though why they would want something so vile, I surely cannot say. I wonder if those goblins consider spider a delicacy of some kind, though that thought makes me shudder. Maybe you ought to go to their camp at the Bleakleaf Crest, out south of here, and see if you can find the spider they dragged off. Mayhaps that spider corpse might tell us something about these goblins. Alright, and there's this guy here.
Take a moment of your time.
Warden, I am glad you have come by. We have been trying to slowly rebuild what we can. It has taken much effort, and I'm afraid it will soon be for naught. We are the glass blowers here in Dwaling. Always have, always will be. Well, I hope, as always, will be. We have been running gravely low on supplies as of late. The new townsfolk, the creatures about the sands, have kept us from venturing too far. We barely have enough to finish the next order. I used to get the white sand for my glass blowing from a dear old friend who would travel into Barendalf to the northeast of Dwaling, but he moved away not a week ago. If you would travel up to the sand marshes and get me some, I would be deeply in your debt. Alright. Perfect. So looks like we got all of the quests we need for now. And we got some evil workers here. So let me see if I can find the satchel. Now, all these guys are hostile if I were to be on level. Just so you know. But let me see if I can find the satchel here. There it is. There is the captain. Let me go ahead and kill him, because why not? Oh, did he, like, block me out? Never mind. I was just being stupid and not pressing what I needed to. Alright, and then let me turn in this quest real quick before I continue doing some other things. Just in case he gives me, like, a part 2 or something. Which I suspect he probably will.
Can't a body be left alone?
You have the tools, very good. I can now get back to working again.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Now, this hobbit I was telling you about before, he let the big man buy up all the land right here in the Shire. I have talked to Ronald Dwale about sending a letter to old Will Whitfoot, the mayor, but I don't know what he can do against such a sound contract like the one sent to my door. One of my dear friends, Perlina Gamgee, is away at the West Farthing looking for a snug hole to start over in, and I told her that I would look after her home while she was away. Those new men in town have a foul look about them, and I don't much trust them, even if they claim to be here to help. If you could go down and check on Perlina Gamgee's residence just east of here in Dwaling, you look like you could hold your own if any of those ruffians gave you any trouble. Looks like there's some sort of conspiracy here, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it. Let's go take a look at Perlina's hobbit hole, though. Discovered ruffians on Perlina's property. That cannot be good news. So I gotta defeat the Chief Watcher. That's the Hunter. There we go, that's the Watcher right there. There we go. You know what? I may go to Barendelf real quick and collect some things before continuing with this quest line. That way I can turn in a few things at once. Oh, these little guys are such a pain. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with them since I'm over leveled. So let me collect some white sand. Now if you guys know anything about glass making, you know that it's accomplished with sand. So this is a great place for them to set up camp because there are some pretty nice white sand beaches here, as you can see. Now that's also something that I originally learned on RuneScape, that you make glass with sand. Back when I was like 12 I learned that. So the lead dog, I think, may be from one of these, the sand norbogs. Oh, he's gonna burrow, don't do it before I kill you. Oh, that sucks. Alright, here he comes. Oh, he healed up impressively. Good music here. Lots of white sand to collect. Now let me see if I can find this lead toy. Not yet. Maybe this one will have something for me. There we go. Found it. So now I just need to finish collecting some of the sand here. And I do need to examine the corpse of the spider as well, it looks like. So I'll see if I can do that. Alright, so that is all the sand. Now the goblins, I think they're to the south. Let me set this on my tracker. Yes. Now let me go on the other side here. Not too far away. I found a gold-bound loot box. Sweet. You can usually sell these for a decent amount of money on the auction house. Alright, so the goblins have made a camp over here. Not good. Bleakleaf Crest. And there's a torch there, but I don't need that. Let me take a look at this spider, though. A quick examination of the spider's remains reveals that the goblins have let it lie, virtually untouched. All of the ichor and venom of the spider seems to have been collected by the goblins. So something sinister is certainly afoot. They are collecting spider venom. That can never be good. Alright, so I got a nice big chunk of quests to turn in here. Let me see if I can cut the corner. There we go. Back here to the glassblower camp. Try not to break my legs. Obviously that didn't work out too well.
party
Well, I
must have
never.
heard.
These big folk are violating their contracts. What are these times coming to?
Could I take a moment of your
So
time?
before I get the next set of quests, let me turn all these in.
Well, the gall of some folk.
They took the venom from the spiders? Well, that's no good. And you found hobgoblins there? That's even worse.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Right.
What do you need?
Were you able to find the toy Kippen? Ah, I see you did. Many thanks to you.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Is there something I can
You
do?
have the sand, and just in the nick of time too, my lads. We're just finishing up the last of our supplies. Alright. So it looks like there's a lot more quests that open up here, and I'll certainly continue helping out these good glass blowers here in Evendim in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this one, be sure to join the fellowship by hitting the subscribe button. Also, leave a like on the video. It takes you half a second. You could probably have done it by the time I finish saying this sentence. And it really helps small channels like mine to grow. So I'll see you on the next episode.